Okay, so thank you so much. This is like absolutely a blind talk right now with lots of people hearing it, and I'm the only fortunate one who's watching my own slides. But anyways, thank you so much for inviting me. Today we'll be talking about effective mentorship, and we all know that if you look at the past, the word mentor is not actually taken as from the word men. It is actually a man, a teacher, an educator, a friend of one of the important persons, a king of Ithaca, who went on a fight to Trojan War, and he had entrusted his friend mentor to take care of his son, to teach and to guide him, and that's where the word the mentor came. And I kept looking at this word and realized, well, what will a woman be called if she's a mentor? And strangely, when you look into the literature, you'll find that a woman mentor is called a femtor. So I wish that maybe we can later on call ourselves femtors rather than mentors. So when we're looking at with this is a mentor-mentee relationship, a very beautiful relationship that we develop in the course of mentorship. And this experience this mentorship experience, it provides professional and career developmental support, it provides role modeling and psychological supports. Mentoring relationships are personal and reciprocal. And these days, with the effective mentorship programs coming up, and due to the COVID-19, the pandemics, online mentorship opportunities are available, which helps to build virtual mentorship relationships. So mentorship, and when we look at in the past, is actually a dyad, which means that two people meet and discuss topics often framed under the themes of personal, professional growth, interpersonal conflicts, and work-life balances, and more. So two people sit, talk, discuss how to improvise, how to improve on their lifestyles, their work balance, their work, their professional growths, and even networking. So mentoring processes have four phases. It's the initiation phase, followed by the cultivation phase, then comes the separation phase, and then the redefinition phase. When you look at the first phase, which is known as the initiation phase, this is a phase which actually a relationship is developed between a mentor and a mentee. And the mentor and then the mentee, who's actually the protege, they introduce themselves, they discuss things, what is needed, whether to define goals, how are they going to share the information. Usually it's a two-way learning process, both between a mentor and the mentee, and it's a very short phase of a mentoring relationship. This is followed by the cultivation, where this actually relationship matures, and the mentors typically provide the greatest degree of psychosocial and career supports. And that is what actually I feel that, all the support that we're getting from the WOW and from these, even the programs that we're running now, we're actually developing a very nice mentor-mentee programs for our future students as well. So it's actually a small tree or a stem that grows up to become a big fruitful tree. And that is what cultivation is all about. Then comes the separation phase. Here, it's like autonomy of the mentees. So much has been taught, so much has been told, and so much has been guided to them by the mentor, that this is the phase of independence. And this is an actual phase where a mentee actually sits back, relax, and watch, and feels proud of the fact that the mentee is independent and moving on. And then finally, once this happens, then comes a redefining phase, in which this is a transition. Now either the relationship is going to change, and if it's going to change and become more informal one between the two, and so it might not be just a mentor-mentee relation, it will change into a peer-like relationships between the two, and interactions will be as such, or it will terminate and this relationship is going to end because the mentor is independent and is able to move on, or maybe will become a mentor in the future. So if it's a redefining phase, the pair-like relationships now develops. So all the four steps is like the same. You do the first is a mentor showing the task, then they're doing it together. This is followed by independence, and finally a move on stage when the mentee is doing the task independently. So the core behavior of the mentees and the mentees include aligning expectations and building rapport, and maintain open communications and facilitating. Everything is for the betterment of the mentee. So, but is it that easy? Do this mentorship have challenges? Over the course of the academic and career pursuits, mentees and expectations and needs are likely to change, and these can misalign expectations in the relationships. So all mentorship relationships should be considered as different and unique and should be worked accordingly. Now we're looking at what is known as effective mentorship. In order to have an effective mentorship between a mentor and mentee, this occurs when there is a strong trust development between the two. They share strengths and their limitations, and they identify and engage with each other. So the basic thing is communication. The more you communicate, the more you talk, the more you build trust and trust between each other, the better effect, and the mentorship becomes very effective. Other reasons for effective mentorship is the interpersonal factors. There should be a deep level of similarity between the mentor and the mentees. It's not that a mentor has a very different way of approach while the mentee is moving in the opposite direction. This kind of thing affects and worsens this mentorship relationship. So for a mentorship to be effective, there has to be some similarities between these two, which predicts the provision and receipt of psychosocial supports, as well as predicts provisions of career supports. How to choose the right mentor? Effective mentor is someone who will challenge and support a mentee and not judge them. So this is very important, that a mentor cannot be judgmental, because if they are such, they're going to pick up things about a mentee which might hurt them and might dishearten them. So a mentor has to challenge a mentee and not judge them. The 7 C's which are important for a mentor is you have to coach the mentee, you become a confidante, you provide career advice, act as a conduit, serves as a counselor, be a critical friend, and at the end, the mentor has to provide a choice to the mentee. That is the way the relationship works. Is that easy? It's not easy. You have to choose, a mentee has to choose the right people. It's to have this significant challenge. Not everyone will have these attributes and qualities. So not everyone is cut out to be a mentor. So choices shouldn't be restricted to people who are already mentors or are available. You have to select, and there should be a vast variety of mentors available for a mentees to have the similarities and be able to guide it to have a right mentor. So a mentor should be a voluntary thing. They should be by choice. They should, and once if they volunteer to be a volunteer, then further coaching of a volunteer is required for it to become an effective mentorship. So effective mentorship, you should match the right mentor to the right mentee. Personality, motivation, values questionnaires can help to pair people, as can recommendation from line managers for HERs. Forcing people to remain in mentorship programs where there is no chemistry will be ultimately unproductive and disastrous. You can improve an effective mentorship by having multiple mentors, and just one diet is out of the way now. Multiple mentors can improve can make it efficient, make it more effective to develop wisdom and expertise. So group mentoring will also help making it more effective. Mentors having similar conversations separate with a few mentors with similar answers, and instead of spending hours meeting separately with mentees, combining the separate mentees together in a single hour will approach and save time. Then effectiveness can be increased by having a peer-to-peer grouping. In group settings, mentees can share their perspectives with each other and establish support and validation when mentees had similar struggles and unmet aspirations. And they develop this trust because they realize there are others who are also struggling, others who also have the same kind of problems, and they develop this peer-to-peer grouping, and effective mentorship becomes even better. Then, due to the COVID times,
Huma, you can just, but the time is up.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
So we're just having the virtual thing, which is now, actually the webinars are also helping, and that can improve in the effective mentorships. Online group messages, absence, this can also help. Finally, everything should be fluid, efficient to save energy and save time. So consolidate, construct, and this will improve. Finally, mentors, mentorship is all about mentees and how to improve and diverse their skills. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Huma.
And I'm so sorry.
No, that's
I don't know.
Okay.
This is everything is blind at the moment.